Jai Hind everyone, I am Dr. Monika Agarwal once again with my subject, that is Soft Skill 1, Code KNC 101. The topic of today's lecture is Teamwork Skills, and that is part of Unit 3, which talks about interpersonal communication skills. The content of this lecture has, first of all, we will know what is teamwork, then dimensions of teamwork, and later on, what are the skills related to effective teamwork, like empathy, emotional intelligence, empathy and listening skills, team management, time management, and attitude and responsibility. Professionals have to work as a team always. And what is a team? A team is a group of interdependent individuals working together for a common goal. So teamwork becomes a collaborative effort of a group to achieve some common goal or to complete a task in the most effective and efficient way. This is what we are concerned in this lecture. We must understand that what a good team is known for. So a good team distinguishes itself with three things: how the members of the team treat each other, how they view their work, what is their attitude towards their work, and what they value, means what is more important for them. So these three are the basic focus of making a team a good team. So let's explore what do we mean by this further. To understand this, we have to understand the dimensions of teamwork, means what are the various aspects of teamwork. So whether you work as a professional in an office or as a part of project team, or you are a member of some athletic team in sports, there are a variety of interpersonal skills. And these interpersonal skills are the skills which each team member employs and should employ to build team cohesion. Here this term team cohesion is important. Cohesion means that all the members of team, they take themselves as one unit. That is cohesion, means sticking together. So by using these interpersonal skills, a professional can help the team to work more closely together and get more work done, because our purpose is to utilize all our resources, our time, our energy, our efficiency and other resources and get more work done. So these are called the dimensions of a team. We must explore what are these dimensions of a team. First is open communication. Communication means sharing of information, and this is an open communication. What do we mean by open communication? Means it is that important thing which maintains the cohesion in the team. It is that which glues, it is the glue that maintains the togetherness in the team. And open means that every person is free to speak directly and clearly to every other person whom he wishes to communicate. Whatever idea is related to whoever person, the person is free to communicate. There is no hesitation, there is no inhibition, and there is no restriction. So when everyone expresses, all the people express their expectations and they comment on and they give their opinion on other person's performance or some other thing, in this way team cohesion is enhanced. And this enhanced team cohesion results in better output, because every person feels that he or she is at the same level and understands what is expected of them. So there is no gap and there is no differentiation. So open communication is important, but it also relies on communicator being concise, focused and specific. Means whatever communication is taking place, it should be focused on the team's goal. It should be specifically connected and relevant to the team goal, and it should be mandatory to be concise. It should be precise and concise. Second dimension is respect. Respecting others is a key to interpersonal communication. You cannot ignore this. This makes it very clear that even if you are very reasonable whenever you are talking to other members of the team, team cohesion will suffer if each member doesn't feel respected, valued and listened to. So this considerably is more important to maintain the sense of being respected, being listened to in each and every member of the team. So direct communication and criticism should be tempered with courtesy. Courtesy is very important. Respect is very important, and this is for the feelings and views of other people. We cannot violate this rule, being respectful and courteous. Next is reliability. We should trust each other. If we want to be a member of a reliable team and every other member is reliable, you develop a kind of trust within the team and you are able to complete the time sensitive tasks, because team has some goals and the time limit and you have to complete that task in the most efficient way within the given time limit. So this is important, that we should be reliable for other people and we should be in a situation of trusting other people in the team. Whatever information the other people are providing us, it should be reliable. We should not doubt. Okay, then only we can work. So we have to make sure that we stick to the deadlines and complete our assigned task. This is how we can show that yes, we are reliable, we are trustworthy. So this will help you gain your colleagues' trust. Next is involvement. Each member of the team should show a complete and required involvement in the team. So it is essential for each member to involve other people also, every other individual also in the team. It is not only his personal involvement, but also an attempt to involve other individuals also. Because unless each team member is involved in the project, that project which is a combined effort, and the team decisions which are taken to be by all the members of the team collectively, and completion of the goal, it will not be completed without the complete involvement of each member of the team. So it is possible only when we are involved and dedicated. So team cohesion relies on each member involved completely, as well as soliciting the feedback from other people, peer people. Okay, is ready to take the feedback positively in a constructive way and is listening to each and other person's input. That is how that person will be able to improve. Okay, so it is each member's responsibility to employ these interpersonal skills during team activities, and this will foster team cohesion. Fair practices. Okay, every person may be connected with other people, with few people in one particular way. They may be their friends, their favorites. Okay, so everyone has friends and favorites among the member of the team, but we should not give importance to that part of the relationship in a team. We should not be indulging in our preferences affected by our likes and dislikes. So we cannot prefer people whom we like. We should be fair in dealing with people, each and every individual member of the team. If we do that, it will reduce team cohesion and it is not desirable. So when each member feels free and feels like that they have a fair treatment, they have fair chances of communication, they have fair chances of giving their suggestions, and they can even air their grievances also, that team works better. And in that situation, we can identify the problems early. Means problem solving, continuous problem solving is a need to work as a team. If we have faith, if we are assured of the fair practices, the problems will be identified quite early and then solved. Now coming to teamwork skills. What are the teamwork skills? First of all, empathy. This is a very common word, empathy, and we often mistake it with sympathy, but there's a difference. Sympathy means that we can only sense the feelings of the other people. We can only see that other people is in some emotional distress. But empathy is much higher. It is the ability to understand as well as share the feeling of other person. You are able to put yourself in place of the other person. It is like putting your foot in the other person's shoe, and you know where it bites. Okay, so this is called empathy, and there are two types of empathies. One is affective empathy. Affective empathy means you are just feeling the sensations, and you have the sensations and feeling the other person is having that time. So that is only related to emotions, and that again is of two stages, we can call it. First is emotional empathy. That is a very primary, that is first kind of emotion. Here you actually, in fact, catch the emotion of the other person, like children do. When a child sees the other child weeping, it may start weeping. That kind of first type of empathy. Second is compassionate empathy. Means you are not only having the same feeling, but also you have some concern for that other person. In addition to that, you want to do something. You want to move towards some action to mitigate the problem. You want to solve the problem. That is a state of having a compassionate empathy. Next type is cognitive empathy. Means the previous one was when I said it is affective empathy, which has two parts, means having just the emotion, as well as the second stage where you want to do something to mitigate the problem. The second type is cognitive empathy, means it is called a sort of perspective taking, means you are trying to see the thing the way the other person is seeing. So it is your ability to identify and understand other person's thoughts. So here we are not only taking emotions, but also the thoughts, and you are trying to see things the way the other person is seeing and understanding. So it is much more rational and much more a logical process. Okay, and it is taken as a very useful skill, particularly in the situations of negotiations. Negotiation is a state where you want to talk to the other person and you want to maximize your profit, and both the parties are in the same, you can say, in a same pursuit, that they want to maximize their profit. That negotiation situation is quite a test for managers and team leaders. So in that situation, you are able to look at the things from the perspective of the other person, and that is called cognitive empathy. The best is the balance. We have to find the balance between affective empathy and cognitive empathy. And in exercising this compassionate empathy, we can find the right balance of logic and emotion. We can make better decisions, we can make better provisions and provide appropriate, you can say, answers and solutions to our team members when and where it is necessary. So that is a balance of affective empathy and cognitive empathy. Next is emotional intelligence. We are talking about teamwork skills. Emotional intelligence, that is popularly known as EI, is also very, very desired teamwork skill. It is our ability to understand and manage our emotions in any circumstances. We are all human beings and we are subject to emotions. It is advised that in professional situation, our emotions should not interfere with our reasoning and logical processes. But yet we have emotions. Emotional intelligence refers to handling our emotions and managing our emotions in a circumstance. So this emotional intelligence largely depends upon the values we grow up with, the value, the brought up, the atmosphere, whatever values are inculcated within us by the family member and by the environment. That depends much on that, but we can work on that and we can be emotionally intelligent. We understand that how to handle this, our emotion intelligently, we have to understand what does it really mean. So it has two aspects. First aspect, that determines how we react to a problem or situation, means what is our behavior, outward behavior, and the previous stage is that how we manage our relationship with others. Okay, means we feel and we are in a position to feel what other feels. Okay, and then we want to, or then we are able to empathize. Means first thing is that we have to read the emotions of the other people, then we have to judge and adjust our emotions according to the relationship, and then we have to make a proper reaction to certain problem or certain situation which has made us emotionally aroused. So that is emotional intelligence, that you are trying to manage your emotions intelligently. Okay. So in business environment, an employee with high emotional intelligence is able to work well. Okay, he may be a very, very desirable member of the team, right? A very desirable employee. Okay, and it affects the team's efforts. And if all the members of the team are emotional, they have emotional intelligence, they're intelligent to handle their emotions, the productivity of the team will be high, the results will be better. So that is the ultimate purpose of working together as a project team at the workplace. That is why we are talking about this soft skill of teamwork. Daniel Goleman is one of the researcher in this field. He has given 5 components of emotional intelligence. These 5 components are: first, self-awareness, when we are aware of our emotion, then we are able to read our emotions. That is the first stage. Then self-regulation, we are able to manage those emotions. First of all, identifying and then trying to manage. Then motivation, means what level of motivation and what type of motivation we carry with us, how motivated we are towards this emotional intelligence, trying to regulate ourselves. Then empathy. Empathy is a feeling for the other person. We already know that. What does it mean? Then our social skills. Social skills means the interpersonal skills, how we interact with people. It has a very, very deep and wide, you can say, interpretations, but we will not go into the details here. Next teamwork skill is empathy and listening. Means we are making a connection or combination of empathy and listening. This is called empathic listening. And this empathic listening is a practice of being attentive and responsive. Being attentive and responsive to others' input during conversation. So when we work as a team, we talk with other members of the team. There is a communication, and that is an open communication, and we know that in open communication every person is free to provide the feedback, is free to provide his or her point of view. So whenever the other person is giving you the input during the conversation, how empathic you are for listening attentively and being responsive in that situation, that is called empathic listening. So this is also called active listening. In common terms, you can call it active listening and reflective listening. So you are trying to maintain a balance of active listening and empathy. So the result of empathic listening are very productive. Okay, this listening can result in giving support and encouragement rather than advice or criticism. Whatever we are receiving as an input, okay, we can take it as a productive criticism or an attempt by the other person to improve ourselves, and we can also in our turn provide better support and better encouragement to improve rather than criticism and mere advice. So it helps in making emotional connections with other people. Okay, because when you are listening with empathy, you are able to maintain a oneness with the other person. You are able to show that you are the same person. You have felt the same type of things. Okay, you can extend your, you can say, support to the other person through empathic listening. And when the other person finds a good listener in you, he or she becomes more open, more supportive, more expressive. So it can result in heartfelt responses. The responses will be genuine, heartfelt, okay, because you are able to understand the whole situation only through empathic listening. So the benefits of empathic listening are quite a lot, okay. Some of the reasons to practice empathic listening are: first, it builds working relationship in team, as we have already discussed, that the more you share the experience, the better your trust and mutual interdependence and cooperation becomes. So it results in building trust and it becomes a positive interaction in the workplace. Okay. So it will increase productivity, because when the conflicts are very limited, minimized conflicts, so most of the time you spend your energies and the time of the day working together and positively, right? And this will result in greater output. So this is benefit. Finally, all the time the professional has to find the solution to certain problem. So this empathic listening is a problem solving skill. Okay. With trust and open sharing with your co-workers, you feel more comfortable, and you are comfortable, so you can welcome new approaches and you can suggest, you can come out with fresh thinking. So that improves your problem solving skills. The various steps, we must learn how to listen empathically. That is also important. So some steps to understand how to build our empathic listening is that we have to, whenever there's a position of listening, you are trying to listen to the other person has come to you, you should create a comfortable space for sharing of information. You should stop working, whatever you are doing. You should show that yes, you are fully inclined to listen to the other person. Then you should simultaneously notice the speaker's feeling with the help of the body language. So you should pay full attention to the verbal as well as non-verbal communication. Okay. So body language should also be read. Okay. You should notice, because that is also a means of transmitting the messages, right? And whenever you are listening, you should not try to monopolize the situation. You should let the speaker guide the conversation. He should be most of the time speaking, and you should be most of the time listening with full empathy and attention. And then when you want to speak, when we want to say something, you should wait for the proper time to speak. You should not cut the speech of the other person in between. Most of the time you should be listening, right? And whenever you speak, you should be encouraging. You should not be criticizing. So these are the tips to become an empathic listener. Next skill is time management, and this is very necessary to work as a team member. Time management is a process of planning and exercising conscious control of time spent on some specific activity, right? Each word is important. It is a process. Process means it takes time to complete it, and it has various stages. And this is a process of making some plan, well thought out strategy, how to do something, and then to exercise that strategy consciously to control the time spent, the distribution of the work time, okay, on some specific activity. And this is to increase effectiveness, efficiency, productivity. All things are related. You should be effective. When you are effectively doing your work, it shows your efficiency, better efficiency, and this will result in productivity, better productivity. Okay. So a professional should efficiently manage time to work as a team. When you are working as a team, you have to meet the deadlines. Then only you will be reliable. Then only you will be able to develop trust. That is, we have already discussed. Okay. So there are several time management strategies you can use to schedule your work. We have a whole work lined up and we have limited time. Okay. So this is a combination and balance of both the things. Okay. For this, there are certain strategies, common strategies. The first thing is that we have to plan our work ahead. And for this, we have to create a to-do list. This is very, you can say, much suggested strategy to manage your time, that you should list out whatever work you have to do. Okay, that depends on you, that how carefully and how completely you make a list. Then with the help of that list, you can set clear priorities. Okay, that what work should be done when earlier. Okay, for this we have a matrix here. That matrix is a kind of productivity tool. Okay, and if we apply this tool, we can find a focus to organize our task in 4 categories. There are 4 categories we can organize the work into. First is important and urgent. Means if we find that some task, whether it is important as well as urgent, means you have to do it, you cannot escape it, and it should be done first. So these type of tasks should be done first. Second is, it is important, the work is important, but not very urgent. That you can delay this work slightly. This type of work can be scheduled to do later. Okay, this is important. It is important to be completed, but it is not urgent. The third one is neither important, it's not important, but urgent. Means if you do, it should be done at once. Okay, so such type of task can be delegated. Delegated means that you can ask or you can request other people to help you do that, or you can depute the other person to complete that task, because it is urgent, but it is not very importantly to be done by you only. The fourth category is not important, not urgent. Means it is neither important nor very urgent. Such tasks can be skipped. Okay, you can delay doing, or you can skip doing those tasks and you can find some other person to do that. Okay, so this is how you set the priority. Next is focus on one task at a time. It is very necessary. You cannot be multitasking. Multitasking also has some limitations. So you should focus on the selected task with the help of that matrix, and you should focus on that one task at a time. You should minimize interruptions. Okay, we should try to find some convenient situation, convenient place to work, because interruptions are they ruin your concentration and the flow of work. So you should try to minimize the interruption on your part. Set yourself shorter deadlines, because the time limit, if you have much time to complete that work and if you give yourself that time of relaxation, so the gap in between expands the work. Okay, you unconsciously delay the work and you unconsciously expand your work. So you should set for yourself shorter deadlines. Learn to delegate. Means you should not be doing all the tasks, all the work together. If you find the work which is important, not so much, but urgent, then you can delegate it with other people. You can request other people to help you do that. Okay, or you can ask some other person to complete that work. You should say no to avoid the load of work, and at the end of the day, you should summarize your work. Daily summary helps you to maintain the time management. Next is attitude. Attitude means your readiness to react and behave in a particular manner. Attitude is important. We have attitude with people, towards places, towards things or events in life. Okay, this is our viewpoint, our choices that we make in different situations. Attitude is mental as well as physical. Okay, mental attitude means that you don't find something very much interesting or find something interesting. Physical attitude is reflected in your behavior. Okay, so the attitude also has several components and that determines the types also. Positive attitude, we have favorable attitude, we like that thing. Negative attitude, we ignore, okay, the good and pay attention to only the bad aspect. We don't like that thing. Neutral attitude means it is neither favorable nor unfavorable. Such type of attitude is towards those things which we don't find interesting. We remain neutral. We neither like that, we don't dislike that. Okay. So attitudes are learned and acquired. So team management, team skill is related to attitude also. And the last one is responsibility. Every person should be ready to take the responsibility, means it should be answerable towards certain thing which is in the power and control of that person. So as a team worker, you are making sure that whatever you do and whatever happens to them is right and satisfactory. That is called responsibility. And responsibility is also related to taking blames for something that has happened. That is related to your sense of being responsible. And it is your moral duty to behave in a particular way. That is called responsibility. So teamwork skill, responsibility is very important. So summing up, teamwork is a collaborative effort, group effort, and every member should be dedicated towards effort. And this teamwork skills are major soft skill to help actualize the professional goal, a person's career goal, as well as keep a person satisfied and motivated. That's it. With this, I end this lecture. Thank you very much. Jai Hind.